Karen had been relentless. Over the months, her attacks escalated from petty harassment to outright attempts at controlling and profiting from my property. The latest affront was nothing short of audacious. She had issued an outrageous fine of $1 million against me, claiming violations that were entirely fabricated. Her audacity knew no bounds, and I knew I had to respond. Not with panic, but with careful, decisive action. The letter arrived via certified mail, its thick envelope stamped with the HOA insignia and a note that practically screamed intimidation. Failure to comply will result in severe legal and financial consequences. Immediate action is required. I read it calmly, taking note of every false claim, every fabricated accusation, and every misrepresentation of my property. Karen believed she could bully me into submission with numbers, authority, and threats. She was wrong. I contacted my attorney immediately, and together we devised a strategy that would not only neutralize her threat, but also turn it into a decisive legal victory. The plan was comprehensive. Documentation of every property boundary, photographic evidence of compliance with all HOA regulations, and detailed records of Karen's repeated harassment and false fines. Step 1. Evidence collection. Over the next few days, cameras, drones, and on-site inspections captured every inch of my property, showing that not only were the alleged violations non-existent, but Karen's claims were deliberately false. Every detail she cited was meticulously disproven. Step 2. Legal maneuvering. My attorney filed motions challenging the fine, demanding a court review of the HOA's authority and practices. It quickly became clear that Karen had overstepped her legal powers repeatedly. Step 3. Public exposure. I discreetly informed neighbors and local media outlets about Karen's history of harassment and her attempt to wield a $1 million fine over a property she did not control. The community reaction was immediate. Outrage, disbelief, and growing support for taking decisive action against her. The climax came during a scheduled court hearing. Karen, predictably, entered with her usual bravado, expecting fear and compliance. Instead, she faced a united front. My legal team, sworn testimony from witnesses, and incontrovertible evidence of her repeated overreach. The judge reviewed every document, photograph, and surveillance clip. Karen attempted to interject, insisting that her fine was valid, but her words fell flat against the mountain of evidence. The court found her claims entirely without merit and, more importantly, noted the pattern of harassment and abuse of power. Then came the most satisfying part. The court revoked the fine entirely, nullifying all of Karen's actions against me. But the victory didn't stop there. The judge granted permission for me to legally remove every HOA member who had participated in or condoned Karen's actions from my property, effectively ending her control over my land. Karen's face, once so confident, now displayed utter shock. She had attempted to wield power through fear, intimidation, and financial threats, but she had miscalculated. Every bluff, every manipulation had been exposed, and she had lost everything she had hoped to gain. By the following week, the HOA's presence on my property was gone. Karen's influence was erased, her authority nullified, and the fines that were meant to intimidate me were legally destroyed. My property, my sanctuary, and my peace were fully restored. Sitting in my favorite chair by the lake, I reflected on the ordeal. Karen had believed that sheer audacity, intimidation, and false authority could bend reality to her will. She was wrong. Preparation, evidence, and lawful strategy always triumph over arrogance, greed, and deception. The $1 million fine had been her attempt at domination, but it had only accelerated her downfall. Karen had tried to force compliance through fear, and instead, she had revealed the limits of her power. That evening, as the sun set over the lake, the water reflecting hues of gold and crimson, I sat in quiet satisfaction. The HOA Karen and her board were gone. My property was untouched, secure, and free from harassment. The lesson was clear. No matter how bold or reckless the opponent, the combination of preparation, evidence, and calm authority will always prevail. And Karen? She would remember this defeat for the rest of her life. A stark reminder that no fabricated fine, no false authority, and no amount of intimidation could ever overpower truth, law, and unwavering resolve.